I love the fact that Brad Stevens had coached his team. So if anybody knew what kind of groceries this team needed, Brad was the one. And It seems like, Brad has done just that.
Right.
Brad is smiling, knows everybody, shakes your hand. But man, Brad is, you know what? I got a moving van for you. Don't worry about it. It's coming to your house pretty soon. There are no favorites. If I can make this team better, he's done just that. He almost the exact opposite of my good buddy Danny Ainge. Danny was holding them draft picks. All that stuff was tight to the bit.
Wait.
Yeah. I got this. Brad said, wait a minute, what we got in the cupboard right now? Oh, we got 2 more cans of beans? Hey, put them on the stove right now. Let's see how about tomorrow? Screw tomorrow. We going right now for the day. And I happen to like that, what Brad's doing.
Right.
The Cedric Maxwell podcast is brought to you by FanDuel, the exclusive wagering partner of the CLNS Media Network.
Back with another episode of the Cedric Maxwell podcast. He is Cedric Maxwell. I am Josue Pavone. The Celtics, in the middle of their preseason schedule, are 2-1 to start things off. Got Peyton Pritchard just tearing things up in all 3 games. But we also got our first look at this lineup with Kristaps Porzingis in the middle, Tatum, Brown. This is what all Celtics fans have been looking for, waiting for, I should say. And how good are these guys, especially when you think about what the second unit is going to look like going into the regular season? Is Jrue Holiday going to be coming off that bench? Is he going to be a starter? These are questions that, of course, Joe Mazzulla and the coaching staff will have to figure out between now and opening night. But, Max, what do you think? What do you make of these first 3 games? How do you see this thing breaking down? How does the second unit look, in your opinion? What sort of the things that stood out to you most?
Well, I'll tell you what I looked at the first unit first. And I wanted to see what Porzingis was how he was going to fit into the rotation. And I think he's going to be fine. I talked to Al Warford about it. Al said he's long. Al said, oh, my God, you just don't understand how much taller and bigger he is and the length that he bothers people on the defensive end and offensive end. He's not Rob by any means Rob Williams when it comes to blocking shots, but his length is going to bother people. He's not going to be catching the lobs, probably not like Rob, 4 feet over the rim and they're stuffing them through, but he still is a lob option. And once he gets the ball in the paint, a much better scorer than Rob was with the little jump hook, the spin move, step through, up and under. So he's going to bring a lot of that stuff to the table. So that's why I had to look first. And then to see how Jrue Holiday is going to fit in. I mean, defensively, that was another thing that Al Horford said. He said in 4 days, he never saw anybody get by Jrue Holiday defensively. So, man, if Al was a good barometer for what this team is like, it's going to be a good one. Now, you asked me about the second unit. You see Peyton Pritchard. Is White going to be a starter? Who's going to emerge from that second cast of characters and be able to give you something that you're going to like? I think that's going to be big. I know we're being sponsored by our good friends from FanDuel, but today I'm going with the Mexico from Mexico.
That's that good story. That's a real story right there.
Oh man,
that's a good story.
It's made in Mexico. So
yeah, but see, you can tell the difference, right? Some people they're missing out, man. Some people are missing out.
Man, the sugar in this puppy right now makes Mountain Dew seem like you're drinking water.
That's that real sugar cane. That's what that is. They got that same product down in Honduras, man. They supply all of Central America with that. So I'm very familiar with what you're drinking down there.
Oh.
But yeah, man, no question. Look, what Porzingis means to this lineup, man, it's incredible. And it's such a small sample size, but you can already tell. It's almost like what Denver does with Jokic. Now, I don't want to get people get too excited here being like, oh, this guy's going to turn into Jokic, but the way he passes the ball from the top of the key, the way he's a constant three-point threat, I want to see how much he does get the ball in the paint to make those moves with his, back towards the basket as well. But he can do all of that. But I just think seeing it was a whole nother realization as to how explosive this offense can be when you have someone like that in the middle, commanding things the way he does, right? I mean, Al Horford, you can tell how happy Al was at a media day, man. He's like, yo, we got something special here. And I love that. I love to see that from Al because he would know better than anyone, right?
Yeah, and I think that he's going to help Tatum. He's going to help Brown. And he's going to take some of the pressure off of them for scoring each and every time down. So I'm just going to sit back. I'm not going to judge early, but man, I love what big fella brings to the table. Can he? Biggest question you have. This is the $1 million question. Can he stay healthy?
Stay healthy. Yeah.
That's going to be the key for the training staff this year. For Porzingis to be healthy, for Al to be healthy. Those guys have to be healthy because they're going to log some big minutes when you think about the bigs and playing in the paint. Right.
And I think that's why the second unit is more important than most years, right? Because I think monitoring those guys' minutes goes into obviously what the regular season is going to be like, and making sure that they're ready for the postseason. A deep playoff run as the Celtics team tries to pull it off again, or should pull it off again, right, for the third year in a row. But you also wonder how this team is gonna, when those guys are resting, who's coming in to sort of stop the bleeding or keep things going? And does Al come off the bench? You know, do one of these guys in training camp make the team make an immediate impact? You know. You wonder because look at the Celtics team. We know who the best 6 players are, right? Top 6 players are. But after that, it gets kind of thin. You know, Sam Hauser's in the mix, Peyton Pritchard's in the mix. But these newcomers, I mean, what can we expect from O'Shea Brissett? You know, what can we expect from Jordan Walsh? I mean, if you ask me, he's going to be spending most of his time in Maine, right? So a lot of these guys, they're question marks at this point.
Well, one thing we saw from Brissett was, man, he had a couple of plays that was spectacular. One was a dunk which would have completed the first game. He got over a guy's back who was trying to box him out. Looked like he came in from a parachute. He has some things he's able to do. So I'm liking this. I want to see more from Joe, what Joe has this year. But so far so good for me. Again. This is about this team staying healthy. And you think last year, you know, they were an ankle injury away from making history in the NBA. Yeah. I just believe it wholeheartedly that if Jason Tatum doesn't go down with the ankle injury on the first plays of the game, they're going to win that game against Miami and make NBA history being the first team down 3-0 and coming back to win the series. So really give big kudos to that team last year. But, man, the balls that Brad Stevens has. You know what? You and I need to go to an encore with him right now. Give him Go ahead, big fella. You do your thing. What we got on Brad Stevens right now? Brad is rolling the line. He's putting money up here, up there. Brad is saying, I ain't crapping out. I'm going to make my point. I made the 8. You know, I need the 8 to make my point. Double 4s. That's what I got right now for you. You know, I need 3s. Kid, Larry Bird right now. I'm giving you these 6. There you go right now. I'm giving you 2 trays right now. So Brad Stevens, man, I mean, and you know how everybody questioned Brad initially when Brad got that job? Like, you don't know what he's doing. And I think I remember saying to me, I loved it in the fact that Brad Stevens had coached his team. So if anybody knew what kind of groceries this team needed, Brad was the one. And it seems like, you know, Brad has done just that. Right. You know, Brad is smiling, knows everybody, shakes your hand. But man, Brad is, you know what? I got a moving van for you. Don't worry about it. You know, it's coming to your house pretty soon. There are no favorites. If I can make this team better, you know, he's done just that. Almost the exact opposite of my good buddy Danny Ainge. Danny was holding them draft picks and all that stuff was tight to the vest.
Wait.
Yeah. I got this. Brad said, wait a minute, we got in the cupboard right now? Oh, we got 2 more cans of beans? Hey, put them on the stove right now. Let's see. Well, how about tomorrow? Screw tomorrow. We're going right now for the day. And I happen to like that, what Brad's doing.
Right.
Get ready for the NFL season with incredible offers from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets. Guaranteed. That's guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Now is the best time to join FanDuel. It absolutely is. The app is easy to use, and you can be on everything from spreads to player props and more. So visit FanDuel.com/Boston. Kick off the NFL season with an offer you won't want to miss. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
Then you know what, too? People overlooked how coaching in the NBA for 7 seasons, you get a good idea of the players that really, you know what I mean, that would really make an impact, that could change things for you. You get a better sense of what the tendencies of particular players. And I'm thinking, obviously, of guys like Porzingis and guys like Jrue Holiday, who had a handful of years in the league while Brad was coaching against these guys. And he would know better than most, right, what's missing from this team. And just from a drafting standpoint, right, a guy who spent a lot of time in the NCAA, still very connected with that. So, yeah, going into it, I'm like, yeah, this would be the guy. I just always thought that – I always wondered how long it was going to be, right? Like, are they going to – is this like a temporary thing? Is he going to go back to coaching? But, man, he's killing it right now. So I don't see it ending at anytime soon. I don't see it ending because it's like –
if you put Brad Stevens and you see Brad Stevens, when he coached, he was almost like a cat on the tin roof, always moving, jumping here, jumping there, doing whatever it was. But now, if you see Brad is like one of these, like I am down in South Beach with a pina colada in my hand, laying out by the pool, ain't worrying about a damn thing. All he doing is doing like this. Let me, I have another one. One more over here. Excuse me.
Relax, right?
I mean, that's Brad, and like
remember year 7? I feel like he just looked exhausted, man.
Yeah.
Between after the bubble season, there was like a 6-week off season, go right into the next year. By the end of that season, by 2021, he just looked like he was spent, man, tired, stressed out. Yeah, that's a good point, Max. He looks very much more relaxed nowadays, for sure.
Yeah, and then that's kind of where they're at. So we'll see.
Right,
see what
I got a question. I got a question for you, man, because right before, let's see if I can set the stage here for people right now watching and listening. So just imagine, like, this is right before the very first preseason game of these guys. Porzingis now 1 by 1. Towards the end comes Jrue Holiday on the bench, right? Place is going crazy. Everyone asking for pictures and autographs and all that. Then comes Max walking over to the corner where Jrue was sitting. And you guys was talking it up for a good, 4, 5, 6 minutes or so. There was smiles. There were serious looks. There were patting and daps and pounds. I'm like, man, what the hell are these two talking about? So,
who is there with a camera now and picks it all up?
You already know, man. I don't miss anything. It's a new season. I got to be on my toes, okay? Preseason, let's do it. Bet. I'm ready.
I mean, if this doesn't work out for you, there's something right now going on in the world where they need some spies out there. Just wait. I'm putting you out there with a camera and, people talking about attack someplace. Just so it would have been way ahead of that. I got that already, man. I see what's happening. I got any information that needs to be gathered. I got that stuff right now. North Korea about to shoot a bomb off. Wait a minute. I got my camera here. There is him right there. I'm taking a photo of him. So kudos to you.
That's journalism, 101.
But I just walked up and I was introducing myself, and one of our security guards said, "Jrue, this is Cedric Maxwell. He's a legend. His number is retired." And Jrue Holiday said, "Oh, I know him already. I know who he is already." I'm like, "Damn." I was like, okay, all right, Jrue. So I had to give him
that smile came in. That's why I saw that smile. All right.
Yeah, like pound up. So yeah, that was me trying to get information, basically trying to introduce myself first, and that's what I would do with most good players. I haven't had a chance to speak to Porzingis yet, just a little bit, but maybe I will. I'll be sitting down because I don't want to have to be looking up at that big dude, man. That's a big dude.
Big dude.
I mean, here I am at 6'8", and my head, I know, and now I know how it is when you talk to me. It's like you look like, yeah, Max, yeah, we're gonna do, yeah. I can see myself.
Or trying to do a report video with you in the NBA Finals, man. That was. I look like a flowing head, man. Trying to say that with you.
Ping pong, man. Ping pong.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Ping pong. Your guy. What's his name?
E40. Is he 6 feet? He might be 6 feet, but you still had. He was looking up to you too, man.
E40. Yo, what's up, man? Ping pong.
Ping pong, man. Back forth.
I would never forget that. And with the I mean, I don't know how it happened, but that particular series, every time I looked up, your camera was down my throat someplace. You're talking to Gary Payton, either, or me and Draymond going at it. Draymond going at me, really. And so
must see TV, man. I'm in there. I'm ready.
It was crazy stuff. So I know, people said, well, I know you got a ton of footage, with myself and Draymond, and I was Draymond right now and twist his ankle so far, but it just seemed like it seemed like a real interesting year. Everybody's doing like this. They're saying Celtics, Bucks, Denver. They're not even including anybody else in this narrative.
Not even the Eastern Conference champs. How do you feel about that?
Well,
I don't blame them. I don't blame them.
I don't blame them. I don't think that they've made the moves to the arms race.
Right.
And Joel Embiid, who is the reigning MVP, nobody's talking about him. He was at the baseball game, Phillies, the other day, but nobody's talking about Joel Embiid. And Joel Embiid said, "Hey, I don't feel like we've been left." I'm like, "What? Where you been watching? What you got Harden, who doesn't know if he's gonna play or not.
That shit's messy right now, right?
Where do you see that you made this big push and grab other players right now if you're Joel Embiid? I don't quite get it. So I can see
the continuity, Joel.
Yeah, everybody else has made moves, and everybody else is going out. You still have a shovel. The rest of them right now, they give machetes and all kind of stuff ready to come to war. And you're right now.
Right.
Yeah, so I do understand what they're saying. I understand what Vegas is saying. But again, this is about proving me. Is there going to be a dark horse team this year? Can Cleveland, who was really good last year, can they bounce back and do some things? The New York Knicks, this is people, they went into another round, finally lost. But I mean,
like the Heat thing,
LeBron, your guy LeBron at 39, what's going to be his swan song?
There is no I in team, but there is one in Indeed, and that's the hiring platform you need to build yours. When you're hiring, you need Indeed. Indeed is the hiring platform where you can attract, interview, and hire all in one place. Instead of spending hours on multiple job sites searching for candidates with the right skills, Indeed's a powerful hiring platform that can help you do it all. We streamline hiring with powerful tools that can find you match candidates. With Instant Match, over 80% of employers get quality candidates whose resume on Indeed match their job description the moment they sponsor a job, according to Indeed Data US. One of the things I love about Indeed is that it makes hiring all in one place so easy because it's able to focus on the kind of candidates that you're looking for. Wean out the ones that you don't need and zero in on the ones that can really make a difference, that are worth hiring. Candidates who invite to apply are 3 times more likely to apply to your job than candidates who see it in search. According to US data, we get you one step closer to the hire by immediately matching you with quality candidates. Indeed does the hard work for you. Indeed shows you candidates whose resume on Indeed fit your job description immediately after you post, so you can hire faster. Indeed's hiring platform matches you with quality candidates instantly. Even better, Indeed's the only job site where you can pay for applications that meet your must-have requirements. Indeed is an unbelievably powerful hiring platform, delivering 4 times more hires than all other job sites combined, according to TalentNest in 2019. Join more than 3 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. Start hiring now with a $75 job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/Maxwell. Offer good for a limited time. That's right, you can claim your $70 credit now at Indeed.com/Maxwell. That's Indeed.com/Maxwell. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
You know,
it's funny you bring that up, Max. This is like the first preseason where no one's talking about LeBron and his team, right? I feel like this is the first year in a long time. It's interesting you bring that up. But no, I was going to say real quick, though, what Miami Heat fans, I feel like, are in the sense of delusional, right? Because of what happened the last 2 seasons. Okay, I get it. Each year, no one was talking about the Heat as being the favorite to win the East, but then they went ahead and 2 years ago they got to these conference finals, and last year they won and went to the NBA finals and all that. But this year is different, man. Like, they needed to have a plan B for when the Lillard thing didn't go through. And they never did that. They never even brought reinforcements in because they didn't want to mess the money up, right? They didn't want to not have enough money to make the trade and all that. But there's got to be a point where you decide to move on. And they never did that. They spent pretty much 2 months waiting or hoping, I should say, rather, that this Lillard thing would get done. And then look what happened. It blew up in their face. You know, I just think adding someone like Lillard to the Eastern Conference, especially when you're pairing him with Giannis, it just changes things in a way that we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
And I think when the Celtics go out and get someone like Jrue Holiday, it's to strengthen their team, but not in the sense that it's a panic move, but obviously they're keeping in mind that, man, we got the best defender for Lillard. So let's bring it. You know what I mean? Like Heat fans are like, I'm not worried about Holiday in Boston because he looked terrible against Jimmy Butler in the playoffs. You think the Celtics are thinking about Jimmy Butler right now? They're thinking about Giannis and the Bucks. They're not thinking about that's the goalpost now. It's not the Miami Heat.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. Jimmy Butler can come back and be a thorn, but I don't see them making that move again this year. They play hard as hell. They do have a culture. You got to give them that. But eventually, the more talented team sometimes probably is going to end up winning. What Jokic going to do? But I think that they took a step back though with some of the players that they lost.
Right, that too. Right.
I mean, Brown, I think it was huge. Boston's own. He's him being in Denver last year. Bruce Brown gave them a tremendous push. Yeah. And now I think he's in Indiana. I think he's in the Indiana or he's in Detroit, but I think it's Indiana that he's in. So
he get that deal. Yeah, it's Indiana. You're right.
So I think that Denver isn't as good as Jokic is going to be good again, but also it was their secondary pieces. Kentavious, Caldwell Pope, guys like that are going to do it. And Malloy, their coach, said, "Hell, we're gonna do this thing again. We're gonna run this thing back." And that's a lot of pressure to put on a team like Denver, but they were able to get it done. So
I appreciate the enthusiasm out of Coach Malone, man. Like, that's. You want to get your guys riled up and be like, hey, we can win this thing again. So that's good for them. But I mean, you just wonder how the rest of the Western Conference responds, right? Because we see the Eastern Conference, they've made changes. I mean, look at the 2 teams we're talking about right now. The Bucks.
He's going to say, just what? Who's going to guard Jokic and who's going to guard Murray? They right now might be the most explosive duo in the NBA. Jokic sets huge picks. So Murray comes off, a lot of times he's wide open. If he's not wide open, kicking the ball back to Jokic, who is the best passer in the NBA other than a guard. I don't think we've seen guys like him. I mean, he harkens back to me passes like, watching Magic Johnson throw passes. You're looking one way, guarding Jamal Wilkes, and that ball zips by your head. I remember he got mad with me one time because I kept my eye on Magic. So Jamal would cut through that basket. He'd be whipping that ball, and I'd be looking right at it. Give me that. Give me that. Give me that. But you got to have your head. Yeah, your head has to be on a freaking swivel. If you guarding a guy like Jokic, if he has another player that is out on the floor, Jokic makes unbelievable passes. Maybe the best passing center since Bill Walton. Bill Walton was tremendous in Portland. I can't imagine anybody better than Jokic, essentially averaging triple-double as a center.
Is everyone sleeping on the Phoenix Suns? Like, are they still, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like people are mentioning them, but they're not like the full, they're not one of those full-fledged favorites right now, right?
Everybody is sleeping on them because they look at what's happened to them in the last couple of years. Yeah. I mean, you lose Chris Paul, what happens? Here's the team that, are you sleeping on? Are you sleeping on Golden State?
Yeah, I'm snoozing. I'm chilling.
Wow, really?
No, they had their time, Max. Come on, how long you going to extend this thing forever?
Look, you still got Steph, the best shooter right now in the league. You still got Clay, one of the best shooters. Draymond, a great facilitator, and you get Chris Paul. But
they old, still. Man. I know, man. They sound old. They sound like they up there, man. They up there. Look. I'm not saying this team is not a playoff team or that, but do they have enough? I don't know. It's a lot. I want to see what the rest of the roster, what the other guys can do, because that's a big part of it as well. Right? I mean, that was part of it when you look at the finals run. I mean, obviously Steph was Steph, and other guys stepped up as well. Draymond wasn't the same guy he was during the heyday. But you had guys like Wiggins locking down Jaylen Brown. You had guys like, coming off the bench and giving you look, Steph's going to be Steph. But I just wonder if it's
one of the questions you're posing to me is big, because you start to look at Jordan Poole. The Jordan Poole effect, is that going to catapult them?
That's a good point too.
Or is it going to set them back? Because here's a guy who was the second leading scorer on that team, and you get rid of him essentially for marbles. So
he's about to put up 25 in Washington.
It's not all day long.
Right.
But yeah, we'll get a chance to see how that's going to work out, man.
I can't wait, man. It's exciting.